Good morning to all of you. Last class we had done one part of this chapter, Green Skills Sustainable Development. Today the rest of the topics I'll complete. Next topic is what are the measures to be taken for sustainable development. So some points are given. Let's discuss it one by one. First one, we should always go for proper use of means and resources. Like whatever resources we have, we should not think means that we should not think about that we should keep on ruining it without thinking of whether we are going to restore it in future or not. Okay, so sustainable development emphasizes on the wise use of resources. Why wise use? So that it will be available for future use also, like minerals, coal, petroleum, water, insecticides, chemical fertilizers, forest products, etc. Okay, next one, development of positive attitude and holistic approach towards conservation. Positive attitude means you should always not think of others that they should start first. It's your turn, you will start first, because you should not think that this particular resource belong to you only. You should keep in mind that resource is going to be shared by all. It's not your own property. If you will change this attitude that it's your own, then obviously it is going to be preserved, the resource is going to be preserved, and others will also start following you. They will also think of all instead of thinking about themselves only. Okay, so sustainable development brings about changes in people's knowledge, attitude, and skill towards the environment, and it makes people aware of their responsibility to use and preserve natural resources like oceans, forests, land, ecosystem, etc. It creates a sense that natural resources are commonly shared by all. Next, integrated socio-economic development. Here means whatever development is going on, it should be based on the progress of health, education. These all are means all these measures are given by keeping in mind your sustainable development. Okay, progress of health, education, agriculture, tourism, and social reform is of prime importance for the development of human beings, and while doing so, environment conservation and promotion should also be kept in mind. So both here, development and environment conservation, both the things should go hand in hand. We should try to achieve that thing. Development based on people's participation, as we discussed it in the that positive attitude point also, we should encourage other people also to they do it, like we should encourage them to conserve the environment, preserve the natural resources. We should educate the people who don't have any idea about it. So the aim of sustainable development can be achieved only when the maximum number of people participate and promote it. This participation creates a feeling of ownership towards development work and environment conservation among the local population. Next, we have the limited development. Limited development means without any reason, we should not keep on developing something, or we should keep on inventing something. Whenever there is a need of a particular thing, then only we should go towards that. Sometimes development is done more than it is needed. It happens due to the greed of individuals. This undesirable development results in the depletion of the already limited non-renewable resources globally. So basically we have two types of resources, renewable and non-renewable. Renewable, which can be restored, but non-renewable, which cannot be restored. So these non-renewable resources have started depleting because of this unlimited development. So sustainable development promotes the concept of limited development, and it should not be driven by greed of individuals. Next is long lasting development. Whenever you are going through some development, you should not leave it in between because of some other project and all. Already you have wasted some of the resources, and if you will leave it in between, then it is going to ruin the resources. Sustainable development aims at long lasting development. It emphasizes on continuing the present development without destroying the earth's means and resources. So these are the measures which you have to keep in mind while means going for development and all. Then there are some international efforts which they have given in a step-by-step format. Here, few things which you keep in mind, that the United Nations is supporting efforts to assess climate science, facilitating negotiations under UNFCCC for a climate agreement, and providing assistance to countries and communities to reduce emissions in order to mitigate the climate change. To address climate change, and then UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon launched a number of initiatives, including Sustainable Energy for All, that is working to help people access clean energy, improve energy efficiency, and increase the use of renewable sources of energy. So same way, many means initiatives were taken by the international governments also. So you can read it one by one. Then what are the limitations, or I should say that I think this is the yeah, what are the sustainable development goals, SDGs? See, the UN General Assembly provided 17 goals. You can go through this picture where 17 goals are there, and all these goals are together known as SDGs, or sustainable development goals. So what their aim is to achieve a more sustainable future for all. Here you can see the first point: no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitization. All these points are the targets which they are going to achieve by 2030, and it was proposed in the year 2015. So what are the aim of SDGs? Achieve a more sustainable future for all, address the global changes. Here you can differentiate what are the economic concerns and what are the social concerns. Social, you can go with your gender equality and all, and economic one, no poverty, hunger, all these will go for economic one. Okay, so address the global changes like poverty, inequality, climate change, environmental degradation, prosperity, peace and justice. Okay, action by all the countries, poor, rich and middle income, to promote welfare while protecting the planet. Then foster economic growth, address social needs like these are the social needs like education, health, social protection and job opportunities, while tackling the climate change and environmental protection. Then we have what are the challenges, means in front of different countries for achieving these SDGs one by one. First one is wait. Yeah. First one is lack of financial resources to plan and carry out sustainable development. Obviously, all the countries are not financially strong. So many countries are there which are having lack of financial resources to plan and carry out the sustainable development. Then we have sustainable development is often difficult in countries that are facing extreme challenges, like the countries which are facing the after effects of different disasters and all. Okay, an example can be war-torn countries that are unable to prioritize sustainable development to their political conditions. Natural occurrences such as earthquakes and tsunamis may also pose a threat to sustainability, as their adverse effects can destroy infrastructure. One example is given that in the village of Ramchi in Nepal, the only source of water was shaken off force by the earthquake of 2015. Since then, the village has been going a water crisis, and the expenditure on the bottled water, it should be water, okay, has gone up. Now, another thing is that in different countries, there is a conflict between immediate profit and investment. Like just to take or get the votes of people, government has increased the financing towards non-sustainable energy sources to keep the economic growing and win people's votes, which is a short-term view. So, because of these simple things, for some countries it's difficult to achieve all those SDGs. Corruption is another challenge, lack of effort at the local government, because from central government the direction is coming, but it is not being followed properly at the local government. Then another key challenge is ensuring responsibility and accountability in achieving sustainable development. Okay, this one. So all these points are there which you have to read, and then we have objective type questions where